The weekend edition. Thank you for staying with us. Now, if I'm to take you back, Chief Justice Bart Katurebe has on many occasions emphasized the need for the recruitment of more judicial officers. However, during the recently concluded Judges Conference, President Museveni revealed that government would not be recruiting any new judges in the near future because resources are limited and other sectors like infrastructure are being prioritized for funding. To put the issue in context, there are about 52 judges at the High Court. They are tasked to handle over 63,000 cases, implying that the workload per judge stands at about 1,200 cases. We now want to understand the intensity of this problem. With me in studio is Mr. Solomon Muita, the judiciary spokesperson, to explain the need of more judges. I want to start from that. Welcome to our studios tonight.
Thank you very much. Now, the issue, what people need to understand is that we've been doing a lot of sensitization. Now, people understand the role of the courts in Uganda. So many cases are coming to the courts, and the crime rate also goes up. Let me give you an example of last year alone. We started with, we opened with about 140 pending cases. The new cases that came into the system were 170. So 140 plus 170, it came to about 300 plus, 300,000 plus. 300,000, on average, each judicial officer has about 1,300 cases on average. That means that in a month, they need to dispose of at least 110,000 cases each. That means about 5 cases per day. But that is humanly not possible. That a judicial officer is going to hear 5 cases, witnesses come, and they deliver judgment. In one day, 5 cases, it's impossible. That means you need at least 2 hours to start hearing a case, people defend themselves, and you write a judgment. In 2 hours, it is impossible. So what we are saying is, we need more officers because we have so many cases. The alternative is, if we rely on the few people we have in the system, it means so many cases are going to delay. The officers will do what is humanly possible, handle what they can. So many cases. That's why you have backlog.
So, Mr. Solomon, you talk of the backlog. Help us understand by telling us the truth. When did this backlog start? When did the system realize that, you know what, we have so many cases, we have few judges?
Over 10 years ago, the song has been on that we need
10 years ago.
Over 10 years ago. Maybe from around to 2008. The song of we need more numbers started then. And Parliament, I think, understood our story. And they said, High Court, the number should go to 82 from 50. Over 10 years later, nothing has happened. We've been getting new officers, but we get them on just replacement. When people retire, they replace. The other courts, Court of Appeal has only, the structure says 15 judges or justices. Out of 15, now we have 12. And out of the 12, one is heading a commission of inquiry. One sits on a court of East African Court in Arusha. One is a deputy chief justice. So you have 9 active judges. But out of the 9, you know, when you have a constitutional petition, you need 5 to hear. If you have a civil or criminal appeal, you need 3. But the court has 7,000 cases pending before it as we speak. So the problem is there. You know, they sit in numbers so they can cover so little as a team. We need more numbers. We've been singing this song.
Do you think the increase in the number of judges will solve the problem? Or do you think as a system as well, there are some administrative challenges or structural adjustments that need to be done to actually solve this problem? Because you talk of 10 years and you say Parliament recognized your problem. What exactly? Is it a combination of both factors or it's just one-sided, just the numbers?
The judiciary has been doing so many things to mitigate this challenge. we've come up with innovations. We started with plea bargaining in the criminal matters. Plea bargaining is where, we encourage people who know they committed the offense to plead guilty, and we negotiate on the sentence, bargain on the sentence, so that they don't waste cost time and so on. So we cover so much when we do plea bargaining in criminal. We are promoting mediation in the civil matters. We introduce small claims, covering people who have claims below 10 million, and they can go and within a day or within less than 30 days, they can get justice in the courts. But we also started what we call special sessions. Recently we had 13 special sessions that covered about 1,000 cases. So we are coming up with products that can help, mitigate, handle so many cases using very few officers. But even these officers get overstretched because the 1,000 cases, these people had only 40 days and they were 13, and they were supposed to complete 1,000 cases in 40 days. So it means someone is going to work Monday to, almost every day, and at night they hear cases during the day. They have to write judgments or rulings at night. They also need to rest. They also need their weekends for the family, but too much workload, our worry is in the near future, these people may break down. They are overworked, they're overstretched.
So from the information I have, we have about 63,000 pending cases. So if I'm to estimate, probably in 2019, we'll have about 70,000 cases, So what interventions are you putting in place? Apart from what you said, what interventions are you putting in place now that the president has said there's no money to hire more judges? Actually,
what is pending, 63 is for one court, the High Court, but what is pending is 150 as we speak. Now, what we are going to do, we are going to continue lobbying. I think the president has not stopped us from talking to him. We'll talk to the president, we'll talk to the members of parliament, we'll talk to the other stakeholders. We want them to understand our problem. I believe it is up to us to make our case. We'll continue making the case.
In the event that you're talking to different stakeholders to give you a solution, if they don't come through, will people continue suffering? Okay,
there are other measures we are trying to also, we are using other ICT. We are trying to, government at least give us some money for ICT. We are automating the courts. So we want to quicken the processes of courts, recording, using audiovisual. Now we don't have to wait for people coming from Luzira prison to come to court. We are putting a link between the busiest court in Kampala, Buganda Road Court, and Luzira prisons. People don't have to be ferried to court and back. In 1 hour, you can cover cases that would be covered in 1 day. And we are trying to do a lot of recording, trying to see if we can get technology that can help us transcribe and things like that. Otherwise, we will also try to see whether we can cover more cases using our sessions, more cases using plea bargaining, mediation, and also to encourage the lawyers.
Are those interventions working so far?
Yeah, I think last year alone, we covered 52% of the cases. We handled, I think every judicial officer almost did double of what they were expected to do. On average, judicial officers handle about expected to complete about 300 cases in a year. But from the statistics we got from 2018, they covered on average 600 cases each. So it's double what is expected of them, and that's really commendable. We will try and make it better and better within the means, but we will also engage more and try to convince everyone, including the president, that there is a challenge that we need to cover.
Thank you so much, Solomon, for coming through. This is a point of concern to all Ugandans because, in one or the other, you find yourself in court. So this is an issue that definitely needs to be dealt as quickly as possible. Let us now go in for a short commercial break. That was it from the Talk of the Nation.